Well, I don't think it needs to be said, but as you see, I'm making a new account, a new hardcore Ironman. And instead of continuing as a regular on the other one, we're just going to go ahead and start over and start from scratch, basically. So we're going to start the adventure on Faux V2. Now, I'm going to take this one a little bit different of a direction than I did on Fauxcus. I think I know what I want to do on here, and I think the end goal on this one is going to be a little bit more specific than Fauxcus. Fauxcus was kind of like, a main. This one's going to have a specific purpose, really. So I think the goal for me is going to be to obtain a KBD pet, and to do so, I think I'm going to build myself into a range tank. Probably going to be a lot of AFK training and not as much Slayer this time. But if I'm a range tank, if someone attacks me while I'm on the way to the KBD lair, which I'll be doing this off task most of the time to get them done over and over and over, we'll have some sort of survivability and we'll be able to defend ourselves basically, or just live until we can use the lever if we get TB'd. But anyways, starting out, I decided to grab wines from Fortunato and Drainer. Now, personally, I think this is the best starting food for an Ironman. It costs 1 GP each, so I was able to get 20. With the 25 GP that I had in my bank from starting a new account, everyone can get that out. It's not in your inventory when you spawn, but you just grab it out of your bank. I was able to get that, and 25 GP, or 20 GP got me 20 wines, which heal 11 each. So I did the Stronghold of Security with that, bought runes, and now I'm going to knock out Witch's House at 10 HP and just a level 1 mage. Just because I wanted to show you guys how you can do this very easily. Because the first two monsters are 1x1s, but if you safe spot them this way, meaning you go in the far northeastern corner, and then you step on top of them one step to the south, they have, I think, a 1 in 3 chance to move north 1 step. And then as long as you take a step over to the west, you can safe spot them, because as monster pathing works, they want to move east or west before they move north or south. So he's trying to move west right now since it's only 1 square either way. So he's basically going to be safe spot here the whole time. So what we're going to do is we're going to safe spot the first phase, we're going to safe spot the second phase the exact same way, which was a little bit trickier for me, and he didn't want to go straight north at the first attempt, but as long as you just keep trying over and over, eventually it'll happen. You move over, bam, you got this whole quest safe spotted, because the next two are not 1x1 monsters, so you can just run all the way south, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares south of me, right here, and you can safe spot the other two very, very easily, with no problem, as long as you remember to attack instead of walk on top of them. But anyway, so that's Witch's House, and that's going to get you from 10 HP to 24, so it's an amazing way to start a hardcore Ironman. The first thing I do on a new account nowadays is just knock out the Stronghold of Security, get your 10k, buy some mage runes, and then do this immediately, because 24 HP on a hardcore, on a brand new one, that's going to help a ton. I'm not going to have risk of basically getting one-shot by things. So I decided after that, since I don't have much risk now anyways, if I die right now it doesn't really matter, I could start out by getting a little bit of money in the wilderness, so I decided to pick up some steel plate legs for money, and hope that there were no PKers here. Even if there are, it's not that big of a deal. There's so many things around here that can PJ off of you, that you can just get them in combat, and then you can basically just log out from them, really, and you don't have too much risk. I did stop by in Drainer Village to grab my Chronicle teleports, just so I can have an easy tele method for today. I can buy 10 of them today, and then once the servers reset, I can get another 10 per day. But I decided to come to Drainer for that with some of the money that I had left, and then I've still got a little bit extra money, about 9k GP worth of my steel plate legs. And with this, I decided to do a few quests. I knocked out Rune Mysteries, I knocked out Priest in Peril, and I did Restless Ghost while I was doing Rune Mysteries, because you can basically do the whole thing along the way. But I wanted to do this for a weird reason. I wanted to get to Barrows at a low combat level. So I'm 15 combat, and I decided I want to do a Barrows run, maybe even 2. So my goal here is, at 25 HP, survive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the brothers one at a time, and I'm going to find out where my tunnel is. Now, it's in my best interest to do these kills downstairs on a safe spot instead of kiting these brothers, even though I know the kite method, and I've taught you that before in one of my previous videos. I decided to safe spot them downstairs, because then I don't have to worry about run energy. At 1 agility, my run comes back way too slowly. So I wanted to spawn the brothers down here, and this, honestly, you gotta say, was amazingly lucky. I was supposed to die during Daruk, and it was a huge risk doing it, because I think his max hit when he's full HP is somewhere around 30. My HP is only 25, so he could definitely easily one-shot me. I had to just bank on tanking him out, and I did with a 12. So that's very lucky. This should mean that I can get my first chest done, no problem. All I have to do is safe spot this guy, get some mage levels, maybe get an HP level or 2 along the way during this whole run. I am going to do 100% runs, or as close as I can get to it, so I can get maximum runes, because I need the runes to do this for my future trips anyways. So it's basically just in my best interest to do so. But basically, my goal is to just spawn the brothers one at a time, and if it's Carol or if it's Aram, I'm going to run away, get out of combat, and wait until they despawn. Just run far enough away from them, run into the next room or whatever it is, but keep going through these doors and using the rocks or the ladder to safe spot the melee brothers, and once I down all 4 of them, I don't know exactly what the odds are, but it should be somewhere around a 1 in 28 or so chance to get one of their armor or weapon pieces. The 4 melee brothers, I can't get the Aram or Carol if I'm not killing them, but I'm just not planning on doing that, and I'm just going to try to get some loot just for fun and see what combat level I can manage to do this at. Now, when I got Varrock, I did panic a little bit. I didn't know exactly where the safe square was on the other side of the ladder, and because of this rock formation in the northeastern corner, you actually can't click 2 or 3 steps south of the ladder. You have to do just 1 step south, and I didn't know exactly where it was. So I panicked a bit, but I was able to tank it out, though I don't have food anymore. So what I'm going to do on this kill is just finish off Varrock, and I'm going to telly out, grab some more wines, which I wanted to show you guys. This is where you get it. Fortunato, Drainer Village, 5 per world. So if it's a brand new account mode like Deadman mode, people are going to, fight you for these, and they're a slow respawn, so you're probably not going to get them. But if you're making a new hardcore today or a new Iron Man today, you can come grab these, 1 GP each, great food. I was able to tank Torag out. He hit me with a 23, which I think his max, I think any of the melee brothers other than Dark, their max is 24, though I could be wrong on that. But at 25 or 26 HP, whatever I am right now, I knew I was going to tank that out just fine. So we got to loot our first Barrows chest and got a pretty damn good loot from it. Most people would say this was a trash loot, but without the diary done, I'd say 65k worth of runes, and that's GE value, of course, so it's not going to be that much for me. But that's very damn valuable. I can use those runes later on for my Barrows runs, and I decided I'd do one more attempt just to have some fun. So I figured, why not give it one more shot and just go for another loot, see if I can get an actual piece under 20 combat. Then again, I didn't really think about it, and I was going to gain combat levels as I did these kills, so I wasn't able to do it under 20 combat anyways. But basically the same method. In this one, I'm using the invisible ladder, which in any 4 of the Barrows Brothers corner rooms in the tunnel downstairs, the corner rooms have a ladder in the middle of them. So that's what I'm using right here that you just can't see, because it actually only shows up to you in one of those rooms, whichever one you first go down. But you can use that ladder wherever it should be, which is going to be in one of the 4 squares in the middle of the room. Look for a square that doesn't have any rock formations on it. That's usually what it is. Sometimes there's 2 of those, so you have to pay attention. But any one of those you can safe spot the brothers on, or the minions, or whatever you want to do. So make sure that you know that you can do that. But basically just the same method used to get all 4 of these, and then I decided to skip Darok and run straight for the chest, which I got really unlucky with back-to-back Carol spawns, and I almost died from it, but I was able to tank it out, go all the way to the middle. I didn't want to do Darok because he can one-shot me, and I'm fine with looting a 3-brother chest, because really what I'm doing here is just going for a massive amount of runes to train mage with, because I don't have to make money to do the mage training. Though I did panic, I ran out of food, and I figured Dark was going to spawn when I went through the door, so I decided to telly out. Play it a little bit safe, 15 out of 27 HP, easily KOable if any one of the 3 brothers remaining popped up. I decided to just play it safe, telly out, grab some food, and go back and go ahead and loot up the chest. So I, again, didn't kill Dark when I came back. I just went straight for the chest, looted it, and this time got 40.2k worth of loot. I actually got some mine runes this time, though, which is actually kind of good for me, because now I can just continue to do it with this method. 72 coins, 1 short of the meme, unfortunately. But again, the chaos runes, the death runes are stacking up, and I think I might just play around with Barrows a little bit at a low combat level this time. I think I'm going to get a little bit more HP. 35 HP I'd feel very comfortable with, because then I don't think Dark would be able to one-shot me. But yeah, so this is, I guess, the way ahead since we have lost focus. Well, that's an interesting way to put it. But anyways, this is the new hardcore Iron Man, which I will be training up and probably using to show you guys a lot of early methods this time, since I wasn't able to do that in Fauxcus' series. Now, since I'm starting one at an early level, I can show you some interesting methods like the Witch's House method to do some early content that people might not know. Show you a few tricks, few tips that might help you out on a new account. If you want to start a new hardcore today, this would be a great way to follow along, since this is going to be the content from now on. Okay guys, I'm obviously just kidding. Fauxcus didn't actually die. It's April Fool's Day, so I figured I'd have a little bit of fun. But this is an account that I did want to use actually for that early content, so I can start throwing a little bit of that into the mix when I don't have anything to share with you guys on Fauxcus. So if I don't have enough content on him, I figured I can go ahead, do some type of early content, early tip, early trick that you guys might not have known, and teach you how to basically do a new method, like you might have learned how to do Barrows today at a very low HP account with some relative success. It's not going to be the most items in the world because you're not killing all 6 brothers, because I can't handle Carol or Aram, but you can have some fun at an early level, maybe get some elite clues. This was a way that I did it on my Ultimate Iron Man, And I think I got a rune crossbow somewhere around level 50 combat or so. Just by doing Barrows this way, I was able to complete an elite clue on him just because I got lucky and I didn't get any Sherlock steps. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this account. I'm going to teach you guys a few things on it, and we're just going to have some fun and have it as a backup in case something ever happens to Fauxcus. Bam, we got something to start with right away. Later, boys.